Okay, so this is part 2. Had to make space for my tablet. Still January the 12th, 2022. So when unclean, unnatural spirits engage, force mental engage my body sheaths. Now before I was shining my light, oh my goodness, all the time. I was like, as soon as I felt one of them, I knew something was wrong, I would be like, shine my light, shine my light, shine my light, shine my light. But then, in order to learn how unclean and unnatural spirits behave, you have to humble yourself. And you have to know who you are as a celestial being, as a light being. And if you know who you are, you already know that when they do such things, they in self-annihilation. Especially when you are in the spirit of freedom. Freedom. These are very powerful. Love, truth, peace, freedom, and justice. Freedom is a very powerful sword. Okay? That energy of freedom is no joke. So many times that which is unclean and unnatural, if they were in the spirit of freedom, natural laws, they wouldn't be doing it anyway. But if you are in the spirit of freedom and you are implementing natural laws that harmonizes with the earth and the universe, you already know, because your spirit guides are communicating with you like they communicate with me, that these unclean spirits' time is short and ending. So when they force mental engage, because they, just by them doing that, lets you know that they are outside of natural law. Okay? Then you just allow, I think for me, this is what I did. I allow such invasion to happen so that I can learn about unclean and unnatural spirits and what they're capable of. Because if you don't know, how can you actually protect yourself, and how do you defend, how do you put up your force field? If you don't know what these unclean, unnatural spirits are capable of, you have no idea. How do you know? How can you defend yourself? And once again, these unclean, unnatural spirits rely on ignorance that they exist, fear that you won't talk about it when you find out about it, and so ignorance, fear. What else they rely on? They're predators. So they rely on victim energy, Islam. So they like to see victims. They want a victim. They want that energy. So then they'll feel more empowered to do such attacks. Islam. And so what they're hoping is, because unclean spirits, they mental engage all the time, and they've been doing it for years, hundreds. They've been doing it for a long time, a very, very long time. You have many cases of citizens or people who have been hospitalized and so forth, and they call it spirit possession when they are connected to some form of spiritual spiritual, like a church, or a Catholic church, or something like that, or a temple, and they're going to an imam, or they're going to a rabbi, or they're going to a Catholic priest or a preacher. Oh, help me, Jesus! Help me, Jesus! Take this devil off me! Oh, Jesus! Oh, Jesus! Oh, Jesus! Jesus! That sort of thing. Okay. So they know for years and years and years, we know that people have given testimony of these unclean spirits attacking. Okay? And usually those that are being attacked, they go to someone instead of looking inside of themselves and learning, because they either they didn't know about it or they don't have the opportunity to try to get help. And if that which is supposed to be helping them is corrupt, and they know about what's really going on, they might actually say, well, you know what I think you need to do is go to the doctor and let them assess you. Okay? Are you saying you hearing voices? You hear voices? Okay. Come on, let's read the Bible. Let's read. Jesus said, "Get away from me, Satan." You know, and so forth. And then I have a great doctor for you to see, so you can get assessed, and then they put them on medication and so forth, whatever, and diagnose them. Okay. So let me get back to the point, because I don't want to get off subject, and I don't want to seem like I'm making a joke about the situation, because spiritual possession is real. It's real, and it could be very deadly, extremely deadly. So what unclean spirits do gradually is keep entering your body sheath. And so it could just be one particular one trying to break through the body sheath. So that, and after a while, if they think, okay, so for an example, say when you first come across someone, and it could be a black Negro male, and there is just something about the black Negro male you just do not like. You feel the heebie-jeebies about it. About him. You don't know what it is. You just don't like it. It's like something, but you just, oh well, you move on. This is, then as time go on, because you are maybe you're in school with it. I'm not with it. I'm with him. And you see him, and as time go on, you notice your guards start to go down a little bit. You're like, oh, I guess maybe I could have been wrong about him. Okay? And then, say for whatever reason, you get a wake-up call. Say somebody shined a light in your mind, and you are able to do these extraordinary things. And you're able to see on a spiritual level, on a mental level. And then you start seeing things on a spiritual level, and you start seeing the same black Negro male for over a year as time went on. At first, you just knew, you just did not, something about it, you said, no way, something, that thing is giving me the heebie-jeebies. That energy is filthy. And then as time go on, you start to be like, well, maybe maybe I was just I just judged a person too much. But then all of a sudden, you have a light, and you can see. And as you can see spiritually, you see that it's that same black Negro male force mental engaging. Okay? And then you start realizing it's the black Negro male that's been force mental engaging your sheath as well, to make itself present, because each one of your cells represents a world. Okay, your cells are on chemistry. Your cells communicate with one another all the time. Your ancestors, I always say, my fellow brothers and sisters, my ancestors, my spirit guides, so forth. So what the unclean, unnatural spirit was doing is making itself normalizing its energy, its presence in your body sheath, your mind, so that you would not put up a defense to repel it. Okay? So you could have been sleeping in your bed, resting, and this unclean, unnatural spirit invading your room, invading your home, and mentally engaging and probably somehow laying inside your body sheet while you're sleeping. Okay? You're walking, trying to go about your day-to-day business. This unclean abomination spirit still force engaging. Okay? And then so after, I'm going to repeat this. So after a time, the black male that at first when you saw it, okay, because now I'm saying it because I'm identifying that's an unclean, unnatural spirit, an abomination. When you first saw it, you're like, oh, what is up with that energy? That energy is filthy. That's a funky energy. But then after a year or maybe say a month or 2 months, all of a sudden, and he's like, he's smiling. He's like, hi, hey sister, how you doing, sister? I like your head wrap, sister. Or maybe he one of those black power. Or maybe he one of those as a community, black people, we need to learn to build ourselves economically. The biggest problem in the black community is economics. We have to build financially, and we have to take care of our home and take care of our women. Education is important. Lack of education is the reason why there's an issue with black in our community to maintain and keep up with the rest of the world as the world is changing. So you have what I'm demonstrating is you have different forms of unclean, unnatural spirits. So after a month or so, or even 6 months, the black Negro male, after mental engaging over and over again, trying to make itself familiar and normalized in your sheath, and starts to gradually keep making itself, its physical body, present, so that you would be more receptive to his engagement. That is spiritual possession. And after a while, you're like, oh, he's not too bad. You smiling, not realizing even while he's communicating with you on the physical plane, what's up, sister? How you doing? Or did you study last night? That sort of thing. He is an unclean spirit that is mentally engaging and maybe giving you an energy or an emotion to even want to communicate and have some form of engagement with it. Okay? So if you have unclean spirits that are males, then you definitely have unclean spirits that are females. So if you have unclean spirits and unnatural spirits that can engage in such manner, you definitely have unclean, unnatural spirits that are females and that go through the same tactics and do the exact same thing. So, okay, so getting back. So today, I was like, let me just tell you. So I was working, and this customer, a pale-skinned lady, came, and she was ordering. She seemed sort of her disposition. I was taking her order. I said, hi, I think this is Burger King. May I take your order? But she seemed sort of like, I was trying to feel her. I didn't know if she had attitude or not, or I don't know, but I just knew that I wanted to give her a good customer service. So I'm trying to engage professionally. And but I felt like she was either she could have had a bad day. I just it was one of the customers where I was trying my best to keep a good vibe. One of Burger King's acronyms, the acronyms of Burger King is connect, appreciate, respect everyone. So I was trying to connect with her so I could see exactly what she wanted. and then all of a sudden, I noticed my disposition changed and the tone of my voice changed, or like sort of like rude, I thought. And I had to slow down my communication with her. I said, "Excuse me, I just want to make sure my disposition is welcoming." And she was like, "Okay." And then she said, "I can't hear very well. That's okay." And so we finished the order. So what I did was, I'm glad I slowed down because I was trying to connect. This is on the physical plane because, once again, one of Burger King's acronyms is connect, appreciate, respect everyone. So I was glad that I was able to connect to see the tone of my voice, and my body disposition was a little bit, I don't know, it could have been offensive to her. And so anyway, after I finished the order, I stood to the side, and spiritually, mentally, I just shined my light. And I saw this same black Negro male like pop out of my sheet. Now, of course, unless, people, my managers like Phyllis, Thomas, those that speak Spanish, Dora, Hamima, Serena, those three speak Spanish. I think some, according to them, they said I don't know for sure, I don't know them personally. We don't know anyone personally here. Who else I work with today? Daryl, Jet, Mindy, unless they have the telepathic code, Islam, unless they have a telepathic code that I speak of, that I believe that exists, unless they are able to see spiritually, they would not been able to see what I saw spiritually and mentally. Islam. So and I don't know if they do or not. I don't know, have these conversations with them. But I'm just saying, so why would they be able to see such things unless they have the telepathic code and able to do that? But it's the same black Negro look like, or that I would say the best description would be, and of course I'm not accusing Thomas. Okay, this is just a description. See, Thomas is like, I would say, maybe I shouldn't use the Thomas. It's a black male, extremely dark and like bald almost. Like literally engaging my full sheath. So then if you have several spirits engaging in your full sheath, they can actually cause you to respond in a manner, or demonstrate yourself in a manner that would not be considered kind, civilized, mentally balanced, and so welcoming, engaging. Islam. Okay, once again, getting back to video 1, when I spoke about the sugar. When you see your child, when a child being diagnosed with ADHD, I'm not saying this is why children are diagnosed with ADHD. I'm not. This is part 2 of the video. I'm just giving an example. Sugar can cause personality or your character to be a certain manner than it would be without sugar. Islam. And that's the same if you are infected with a virus. Islam. Because when you are affected or you're sick, you would demonstrate yourself in a different manner possibly than you would if you were healthy and able to do the things that you would normally do. So one of the things, so the thing is, so many times I've seen this spirit, the same spirit, when I shine my light, engaging. All right. So literally, what it can do is continue to engage your full sheath. So what I do a lot of times is I flame up. Sometimes after a while, when a unclean spirit is constantly engaging, okay, and you flame up, and you start flaming up and realizing your abilities as a light being, or maybe you don't consider yourself a light being, but you're able to do these things. You're able to pop it out right away. But if that spirit has latched on to you for a while, and you are, for me, I realize acidic. That means my blood is not alkaline like it should be, or I'm irritated, or so forth. And that spirit has been engaging for a long time, like every day. Say every day I go earn money at Burger King, and that same spirit is always engaging, constantly. So what it's trying to do, once again, is normalize its presence in your world, so that excuse me, Allah, so that you will not build up a force field to repel it. And then say, this is just an example, and then say at first, the unclean spirit, okay, let's not use, let me not use Burger King. I'm gonna say, once again, you're at a school. So you're at the school, and the guy, you see it almost every day. Getting back to the story. And so at first you might be very reluctant to engage. You might have friction with that guy. And then after a while, the guy start being more kind and more, what's the word? Approachable. All the while, it's been engaging with you almost every day. Okay? Hoping to manipulate your emotions, because unclean spirits can replicate and send false emotions, and imitate or manipulate your thoughts. And then before you know it, you are lying down, lying down willingly. It's important, willingly, okay, with an unclean, unnatural beast or animal, unclean spirit, okay? And you don't realize that you were spiritually possessed to lie down with a beast, an animal, or unclean spirit, an abomination. It's important for me to say willingly, okay? So if you are spiritually possessed mentally, and you willingly, you don't even know you're being mentally possessed, and you think these feelings and these emotions are real, and you lie down with an animal, or say it's a robot, a human robot, whatever it may be, whatever laboratory freak they release in the population, then that energy. Okay, because see, you release different energy with different emotions. Islam. So when you lying down with someone and you are receptive to their engagement, that means you're not reluctant. You don't have a force field, but you are more receptive. Then that energy is it binds you and connects you with that which you are aligning with, opposed to you repelling. Islam. That's why unclean spirits work so hard at mental possession and emotions and replicating emotions. And so then we can take it further to breeding. So if you have a government who knows how to harness control unclean abomination spirits, and they want to breed this filth in the population, you see how it can be done. So anyway, these are my thoughts. And actually, this is what I experienced. So yeah, so of course the lady didn't, but I didn't notice. I thought this was odd. When the pale skinned lady walked away, she said, "We or they got it." Right? This is when after I took her order, I thought it was odd because she said we or they got it. She was looking towards one of the tables that the regulars sit at. I thought it was so odd. But then I shined my light. When I shined my light, I saw this black Negro or all black visual of a male, the same one I've seen many times, and I've seen I've seen many different ones that are engaged, like that which is Hispanic, that have that look like Hispanic, brown skin with the black hair, so forth, engaging, and so forth. So I've seen many unclean spirits in this spiritual awakening. But after she said that, and simultaneously, almost while she was saying that, I had shined my light and I saw this spirit. So anyway, this is how, once again, you have forced breeding with unclean spirits, which is a form of unnatural spirits. So you have unclean spirits going around saying they're werewolf. I'm a werewolf. Like I was saying, some of the Hispanics I've noticed, I'm a werewolf, the Birdman. You have black males saying brother like an animal. Black females saying she love your son, brother like an animal. I'm not saying all that say that here. No, I am not saying that, because sometimes they say that at Burger King. I'm not accusing anyone of being an animal at Burger King, nor am I accusing anyone as being a laboratory freak or a humanoid robot. I'm just giving an example. But because I'm on a spiritual level and talking about spirits right now in this video. But this is how the breeding of unclean spirits in lines can happen. All right, and then you find yourself married to some form of an animal with animal kids, and so forth. Islam. So anyway, it's January the 12th, 2024. Is that everything I wanted to say in reference to animals and bestiality? Yeah, still at an extended stay America, there's still some black Negro, male, female, saying brother, she love your son, like an animal, around the room, or like a mic in the room. Literally sound like an animal. Like a Spanish accent. Still I hear pale skin. Sometimes I hear them say Burger King. I'm not accusing Burger King. Still, again, but I hear them say Burger King. We paid, I paid, military, stay, your son, especially when a money is being attacked while he's sleeping at night. I've heard them say, your son. It's like, we're gonna attack, so when I don't know who's saying it, but that's why I started recording, so you can hear the feedback. It's like a feedback in the room. But I am a spiritual woman, Islam. So I started recording, because some of the things, like for instance, this one person was across the hall, and she was talking so loud while I was in the shower, saying, he loves you. So loud. I was like, oh my goodness. So I went outside and around the corner, and I went outside of the room with my tablet, and I literally was saying, this person, because I was in the shower, and it sounded like she had to have come next to the door of the shower and outside the room. So here's the shower, here's the shower. And then you have the door, and then you have the wall. She had to have, you would think she might have been like outside the wall talking, because it's like, this is the same voice that was saying, he loves you, in an angry manner. So after I put on my clothes, she was still talking. She had her door open or cracked. I don't know why would she have her door open and cracked, and she was talking loud. It sounded like she said, move. Islam. So anyway, once again, in Arrington-Bey and I run Arrington-Bey. We don't know anyone personally here in Annapolis, Maryland, and we, as naturalized celestial beings, reject the telepathic code. Islam.